And now we should be live in the Discord.
Wonderful.
Okay. I see myself. Okay, now I'm going to start the testing. Give me a test, please.
3, 2, 1, 2. SWAT fuel. SWAT fuel. SWAT fuel. Frog lube. Frog lube. Frog lube.
All
I
right.
need some ideas.
Opening. There it is. I'm going to start the 10 seconds in approximately 3, 2.
Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the glass case of emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Hey, thank you for being a part of the Student of the Gun audience. I truly appreciate it. I know Zachary and Jared and Alex, everybody here at Student of the Gun, we appreciate it.
Yes, we do. You're welcome.
Everybody.
Thank you, rather.
Everybody appreciates. So Zachary and Paul, which is me, we're in the Silencer Shop studio, the padded walls, high atop the mountain in Saratoga, Wyoming.
Not Sarasota, Saratoga.
I said that.
I know. I'm just saying.
You just saying?
Just making sure everyone knows.
Just say that.
Just saying that. Okay. Jared, where are you and why are you and what are you?
Why am I? Because, well, my mommy and my daddy loved each other very much. But anyway, so I am in Salt Lake City, and I'm at Black Rifle Coffee Company, Ready Man, Savage Gentleman. We're all here in one building with Student of the Gun, and they're not in here to record, but we are in the same place.
Yeah. Yes. Under the same roof. The roof. All right, so we're going to talk today about we got thoughts on the upcoming Civil War, something very pertinent. We have a SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week, don't we, Jared? I'm looking at my show notes right now.
They couldn't call in because they were at work, but I'm going to ask that question because it's a pretty good question.
Okay, the person couldn't call in because they were at work and they would get in trouble. But we have the Quiet Time brought to you by our good friends at Silencer Shop, which makes sense. And then we're going to dive into the main topic of the day. So without further ado, what I want us to do is to do our SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week segment. Now, don't forget, you're listening to me right now, and you would like to be the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week. What you can do is call 844-207-7684. I guess unless you're at work, then you can't do that. But do that. Leave a clear, concise, well-thought-out question. And if we believe that our audience will benefit from your inquiry, then we will read it on air or play it on air, and you'll be the SWAT Fuel Warrior of the Week. You get a complimentary bottle of 9mm plus P. That's the energy formula from SWAT Fuel. If you're not the winner, that's cool too. You can still go to swatfuel.com and use the promo code SOTG. Save yourself some money.
Yes, you can do that. Zach, I got a question for you. Do you have access to that question that was asked in the Discord?
Which question was it? No. I'm guessing no because
No.
Okay, I'll pull it up and I'll play the audio and then I will read the question. Now, if you are the winner of the Warrior of the Week, what do you need to do? You need to email info@studentofthegun.com and include your name, mailing address, phone number, and email typed into the body. All right, the question is from Eric Tenborg, and he says, what are some options for carrying in a vehicle? if it is uncomfortable for the person or you have trouble getting to your weapon because of the seatbelt latch. The new fad, blah, blah, blah. But so the question is, what are some options for carrying in a vehicle if it is uncomfortable for the person or you have trouble getting to your weapon because of the seatbelt latch?
Okay. Carrying guns in your cars. Step number one, and I want to say this with all honesty, if you get into the habit of continuously arming and disarming yourself, as in, well, I get up and I put my gun on, but then I get in my car and I'm going to get my car, so I have to take it off. And then when I get to where I'm going, I put it back on. Then I get into my office, but I take it off. And then when I go to leave my office, I put it back on. Then when I go to the bathroom, I take it off. But then when I go home, I take it off. I put it back on. If you're in the habit of continuously arming and disarming yourself all day long, what is going to happen eventually is you will find yourself minus the gun when you thought you had it or you wanted it or you needed it. Okay. Now, that being said, how can you be armed in your vehicle? Well, it also depends on what state you live in. Like, for instance, there are certain states where you can have a concealed carry permit and you can have the gun secured on your body, no sweat. But if you leave the gun in your car, console, or whatever, you may be open up to liability. There are other states where you have to have it secured and what have you. I don't know where you live, and I don't know what the laws are where you live. Do they make, for instance, could you take the Ojai from our friends at Crossbreed and rig up a deal where it's right there with you, or it's right near you in your seat? Yes, you could. You certainly could do that. I would also ask you, where do you live? You're like, how does where I live make a difference? Well, where you live does make a difference. For instance, where I live right now, pretty much every vehicle, whether it's a ranch vehicle or a pickup truck or these big Suburbans or whatever, it's very, very common for these to have rifle racks and shotgun racks and so on and so forth in them. And you can, because it's a constitutional carry state, I can take any firearm or implement of destruction that I so desire, and I can just sit it on the seat right next to me. And I could have a rifle sitting on the floor of the passenger seat or tucked between the seats, and I'm good to go. No sweat. I live in free America. You may not be so. Also, I don't know what the brandishing laws are in your area. Count me back in.
Joe, did you stop recording or anything?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay. Audio.
Shh. SO.
What the? This freaking recording cut out.
Again?
If you're not the winner, that's cool too. You can still go to swapfuel.com and use the promo code SO.
Yep, that's where it cut out. And this is.
Are you telling me that the whole fucking question and explanation are gone?
Yeah, they couldn't call in. The Quiet Time brought to you by our good friends at Silencer Shop, which makes 7768 formula. If you're not,
Yep, that's interesting. This is a completely separate computer. Did the same exact thing. So nice.
Where did it stop?
Let me do it one more time.
energy formula. If you're not the winner, that's cool too. Millimeter plus PE. That's the energy formula.
Okay, there's the energy formula, and then you picked up with if you're not the winner, that's cool too. Go to swapfuel.com and use the promo code SOTG. What's up? What is that? You're on incognito or Firefox.
This is Firefox.
Oh.
So go to Firefox down there.
open up this and you can find the password. All right. Super weird. All right, I'm gonna mute my mic. Are you ready? Are you good to pick up?
No, where do you want me to pick up?
Start all over again.
Okay.
I
Did you
stopped
get the
at with you stopped at what the fuck? I don't remember. I just said this. And I don't remember.
Yeah, I stopped at use the promo code SOTG, whatever. If you're not the thing, save money.
Stop at that. You need to pick up at if you're not the winner, you still win, or if you're not the word of the week, you're still a winner.
But did I say this? Do you have that on?
No. Pick up with saying if you're not the word of the week, you can still be a winner. Go to swapfield.com, use the promo code.
Okay, is this going to keep happening, or what's going on over there?
Oh. Your audio quality blows.
We're hardwired.
Well, there's nothing I can do about it.
Hopefully it sounds fine when it's recording. It's just the... All right. Are you good now?
Yeah, I will begin with the words, if you're not the word of the week, use the promo code.
Okay. And then I will cue up the song. And then once you intro, I'll start the song and then read the question.
Okay.
I need to go up. All right. In 3, 2.
And if you are not the word of the week, have no fear. You can use the promo code SOTG when you go to swapfuel.com. That's SOTG. Save yourself some money.
The question is from Eric Tenboard, and he asked this in the private Discord server. And he says, what are some options for carrying in a vehicle if it's uncomfortable for the person or you have trouble getting to your weapon because of the seatbelt latch?
All right, step number 1, what are the laws in your area? Can you have a gun openly displayed inside of the passenger compartment of your vehicle? And you say, yeah, of course I can, Paul. I live in free America, but not everyone does. Certain states have brandishing laws where if you brandish or expose a firearm, then you could be in trouble there. I don't know. I don't know where you live and what the law is where you live. Now, there are devices, there are pieces of hardware that you can acquire and secure a gun to the body or the frame or what have you. You can use the Ojai and the ram mount, and you could secure an Ojai gun pocket to pretty much anything you can put a screw into on your vehicle. You can do it onto the console or whatever. I will caution you against this. I will caution you against the desire to continuously arm and disarm yourself. You get up in the morning, you put your gun on, you're like, okay, I go to the car, and like, well, it's not comfortable in the car, so I take it off. And then I get to where I'm going, I'm like, okay, well, I got to put it back on. Okay. And then I go to my office. I'm like, well, I'm going to be sitting at my desk in my office, and I don't want to wear a gun while I'm sitting in my office chair, so I take it off and put it in the drawer. But I'm going to go to lunch, so before I go to lunch, I'll get it and I'll put it back on again. Then I go out and like, oh, well, I'm going to go in the car, and it's uncomfortable in the car, so I take it off. Like, all right, I'm at lunch now. Can I or can't I? Am I allowed to carry a gun into this restaurant? I don't know. I have to check and see if there's a sign. Okay, I can't, so I'll arm myself again. I got to go to the bathroom, take my gun off. All right. Come back. Now I'm going to be in the car again. I'll take my gun off. Here's the deal. You're like, man, that was what you just said was some crazy stuff, Paul. Yeah. There are people. They're like Hollywood detectives. They walk into their office, and the first thing they do is open their desk drawer, unsnap their holster, and throw their gun into the desk drawer and close it. because they're Hollywood detectives. If you continuously take your gun off, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, eventually what's going to happen is the gun's not going to be on you, and it's going to be somewhere else. It may be in your car, in your desk drawer. It's going to be somewhere else from where your body is, and you're not going to have control over it or access to it. So if you are in an area, let's say you spend a lot of time in a vehicle, like that your job is to drive around in a vehicle on a ranch or out in the country or whatever, and you're like, well, my job is to be in and out of a vehicle all day long, so I want to secure a gun to the vehicle. Okay, cool. Rock on. But yeah, I will caution you. Yes, there are things that you can do, and I've done it. I've used those things. We've featured stuff previously, but keep in mind, every time you take your gun off, there's a chance that you're going to walk away without that gun. It happens all the time. You ever wonder why it is that people, in their cars have their guns in their trunks, their glove compartments, inside the console, under the floorboards, whatever, or they leave them in bathrooms? You know why people leave their guns in bathrooms, Jared? Besides the obvious.
Why is that?
Because they're very, very used to not having the gun on them. Because every time they get uncomfortable, they take the gun off. And so it becomes a natural thing to not have the gun on. If you want to be an armed citizen, what you need to do, genuinely, is you need to get into the habit of being armed so that if you don't have the gun on you, you feel as if something is wrong, as if something is missing.
Yeah.
That you like, I don't feel right.
I actually am more comfortable with no clothes on than I am with no gun on.
Yeah. So like you should be at the point where if there's not a gun on your body, you feel psychologically uncomfortable. You feel psychologically uncomfortable when you're unarmed, you will attempt to be armed. You will want to be armed. You will make yourself be armed.
Yeah.
I am at that point. Like now that I've started carrying a gun since my birthday, I've gotten to that point
It's
where
your birthday. Go, Zachary.
if I'm not carrying one, then I feel weird. Like even if I take the dog for a walk at night, I'm just like I got my pajama pants on, I put my robe on. I'll at least take my knife with me at the very least.
You're gonna be hacking and slashing.
You never know.
Hooking and jabbing.
Picking up about freaking bears walking into town. I don't want to be outside at night with nothing.
Yeah,
So
take your gun.
Have a bear. Okay, that's a great plan, Zach.
I would rather have a knife than nothing.
I want Zach to stab a bear. I want Zach to be standing and bathed in the blood of a black bear.
Nah, black bears are pussy.
Black bear
I didn't
will
finish
eat
the
you.
word. Finish the word.
I'll bleep it.
Yeah, you better bleep that because he pretty much did.
Whatever.
All right, so that's the answer to that question. Cat in
Or
the
is it
hat.
brown
And that'd be
bears?
that.
One more
Either
thing.
black bears or brown bears, you can just bop on the nose.
Pertaining to the question,
Not polar bears, though.
I have a newfound love for appendix carry.
Uh-huh.
For access reasons, obviously, and then the ability to get to the holster quicker. And it might just be lack of training with over the hip carry. I don't know. But in the car, especially, I can get to the appendix. If I'm carrying appendix, I can get to the gun a lot easier than if I'm carrying over the hip at like a 5 o'clock position. And obviously, Crossbraid Holsters has the freedom carry, which you can pretty much put anywhere inside the waistband. And then Sunny partnered with Green Force Tactical, and they do the Berkut. And yeah, so that's a pretty good option as well.
Yep, there you go. So also, here's the deal. I'm sitting in my office chair right now. It's hot outside, but I have shorts and a t-shirt on, my little shoes on, and I'm wearing a full-size pistol in a Super Tuck Deluxe over my hip. And I had it on when I went to lunch, and I had it on when I drove here, and I'm going to have it on when I drive home. And if you don't have a good belt and a good holster, the gun will push out away from you. That's the thing with for instance, some of the genius behind the Super Tuck is you combine the inside of the waistband hybrid holster, which is the Super Tuck, with a good belt, and it actually pushes the gun into your body, but not, detrimentally, but it presses it towards your body as opposed to allowing it to hang out away from your body.
Yeah.
All right. And that leads us right into the gear store update from our good friend Zachary, the shipping ogre.
That is me. Hi. So, like every week for the last couple weeks, there's a new product of the week this week, starting, should be yesterday, maybe today, depending on if I forgot. It is this week. We have these PLS student kits in the prominent position.
That's
And
the product of the week.
That's the product of the week.
Position.
Prominent position.
Yep.
Yes. In the prominent position, that is the product of the week.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? And the deal with this is that if you buy a pocket lifesaver from studentofthegungear.com, you will receive a complimentary free EDC holster wallet thing. It's a thing you put on your belt and you can stick it in there or on your backpack or whatever, and it'll hold it in place.
Yes.
Thanks to our friends at Century Arms.
While supplies last.
While supplies last.
Until we run out. And once we're out, we're out.
If I run out, I'll stick something else cool in there.
And that be that.
I'll stick a rubber band in there.
There you go. All right. Thank you to our good friends at Crossbreed Holsters, the makers of the Super Tuck Deluxe, the most comfortable, highest quality inside of the waistband holster you're ever going to buy. And it's called the Super Tuck Deluxe. And they have lots of others too. They have the Ojai, the Freedom Carry outside of the waistband if you don't want to do that. Obviously, high quality belts, horsehide, cowhide, dyed black, dyed brown. I think that's it. No, is there another option besides black and brown? I think they added another color option. I know you're like, how do you not know that, man? Don't you hang out on your sponsors' websites continuously? I actually don't. I'm usually producing material, but I believe they added another feature. So you got a mini tuck, a super tuck, a freedom carry, and littering and smoke in the reefer. Speaking of which, we have not seen the Super Troopers 2 yet, part 2.
Yeah, we are way behind on movies. We haven't seen Super Troopers 2.
I know.
We haven't seen Incredibles
It's almost
2.
like we've been
seen,
traveling and conducting business.
We haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's almost like that, yes.
Yeah, it's almost like we've been conducting business.
Like
all right. Well, busy. I know what it was. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just had an epiphany. Bing! The light bulb came on. It wasn't a new leather color. It's a new Kydex color. They had special Kydex colors when we went in there. Do you remember that now, Jared?
I actually did not get to see that.
Yeah, it was something else. Interesting. Interesting. So there you have it. There you have it. Oh, and I just noticed something when you go to the to their website, they do not charge you any extra for being left-handed. And I think that's pretty doggone Caucasian of them.
That is.
There is no upcharge for being left-handed. So you're welcome, audience. You are welcome.
Hey, Zach, check the chat.
Check the chat. Chat. Frog Lube. It's green. It's minty fresh. It is a bio-based firearms lubricant. And in addition to that, is a made in the USA veteran-owned company. Do you need any other reason to use Frog Lube? Well, extreme. Century Arms, the sweetest smelling arms maker in the US of A. C39 V2, RAS 47, the pistols, the rifles, the new NAC 9. NAC 9. You know what they say. You know what I've been told. Does anyone know what I've been told? Well,
that something else, because I already said it once and I'll get in trouble.
That I'm action packed and I pack a knack.
Oh yeah, sure, that one.
Yeah, there's that. And then of course they have the full line of Canic pistols, accessories, ammunition, all that jazz. CenturyArms.com. Duracoat, why? I'm going to tell you why. Because life is too short to have an ugly gun. If you have an ugly gun, it's your own fault. It is. It's your fault. Because here in America, in the United States of America in the year 2018, if you have an ugly gun, there's only one reason. It's because you don't care enough to Duracoat it. But if you do care enough to Duracoat it, that's cool, because you can pop over to DuracoatFirearmsFinishes.com, DuracoatFirearmFinishes.com, and they have pretty much every color under the rainbow, metallic colors, flat colors, greens and pinks and reds and blues, and just go crazy. Tell them that we sent you. Brownells. Well, I did a video yesterday, 2 days ago, and I posted it up on the line via the socialist media. If you guys are not taking advantage of our IGTV, India Golf Tango Victor, IGTV, on Instagram, you really should be. Instagram does not allow us in the normal feed to put up anything more than 60 seconds as far as video is concerned. But with the IGTV, you can put up anything from 10 seconds to 10 minutes. So what we've been doing is we've been utilizing that tool. It's not a huge thing, but it's another tool that we can use to deliver material to you freaks. And one of the things that I did is I did a video where I installed some of the gear that I got from brownells.com, the mini red dot, the magazines, the flash, the muzzle device, and the stabilizing brace and the pistol grip and all that crazy jazz. And if you'd like to know what Brownells has to offer, they only have like 800,000 products. Check those guys out at brownells.com and make sure that you sign up for the newsletter so that you don't miss any of their sales and promos. Sound good? All right, sounds good. Well, it's Monday. Thank you for reminding me, Paul. I forgot. And what do we do every Monday?
Record Student of the Gun Radio.
Yeah. Well, we actually deliver it. We deliver it. And we have a quiet time brought to you by our good friends at Silencer Shop.
That as well.
I spy a black pickup truck. Oh, come on. How about something a little easier? Okay. I spy error-free forms, fast ATF processing, a 90-day money-back guarantee, and the largest inventory in the industry. I spy powered by. That's right. With over 300 Powered by Silencer Shop retailers nationwide, there's always one close by. Is that easy enough for you? Ha! Almost too easy. Demand Powered by. Shop our industry-leading inventory at silencershop.com.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Bob Ross, for leaving us with that wonderful music, the joy of painting music. Now it's a quiet time brought to you by Silencer Shop, and I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to mention something. I'm going to go right now. I'm going to click on silencershop.com. Boom. All right. I'm there. On the main page, right in the middle, it says Alpha Tango Foxtrot wait times. That would be the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives, Chips, and Dip. And this is a tab that they provide, but it's from NFA. Basically, it's a direct link to NFA Tracker. NFA Tracker. And I'm going to go to the Form 4 individual e-file. The Form 4 individual e-file, and it says current weight, current average weight from the purchase to the check being cashed. That's when you send them the check and it gets cashed. And then your approved stamp. And right now with e-file, it looks like it's just a little bit over 200 days. And you're like, 200 days is bull crap, Paul. Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm aware that it's bull crap. But it was even 2-3 years ago during the reign of Comrade Barry Hussein, it was even a larger pile of bull crap. Matter of fact, I had a can that I do all the paperwork and I do all the jazz and I pay the money, the transfer fees and everything. I had a can that was just shy of 365 days. I think we came in 1 week under a year from the time I sent in the paperwork, or actually the time I did it with my Form 4 dealer. I didn't really do it with my Form 4 dealer because he was a dude and I was a dude, but we worked on the paperwork together. And I sent it in and it was just shy, like a week or so shy of a year that I got my blessed approval, my permission slip from His Majesty the King
Well, that's
to
okay.
shoot quietly.
They waited a whole 340 days to take your money, right?
No, they cashed a check almost immediately. Yeah, that's one of the things that my dealer advised me. He's like, look, you can go to NFA. Your bank is gonna tell you that check cleared, and you're gonna get all excited, and you're gonna call me, and you're like, man, the bank said a check cleared last week. How come I don't have my stamp? How come I don't have my stamp? And he's like, no, they take your money immediately. That's the first thing that's the government. They're gonna take the money first, and then whenever we feel like it, whenever we get around to it, it's not like it's a private business that actually has to show profit and profitability and is concerned with customer service and the customer experience. Believe me, the BATFEMOUSE, the federal government is not at all concerned with your personal customer experience. The reason I brought this up is because the Form 4 individual e-file, and the freaks at Silencer Shop they're doing everything they can to make this crap sandwich a little bit more tasty. All right, the crap sandwich that is the Mother May I game that we have to play with our government. They're trying to make it as painless as possible.
It's interesting, or actually it's really cool, is that Silencer Shop developed the barcoding system, and they didn't just do that for their own profitability. They gave that to the entire industry. So to me, that says a lot about the leadership of the company.
Yes. Oh, no, absolutely it does. And the whole reason they did that was to reduce the e-file times. So, like I said, my personal experience was 11 to 12 months turnaround. Now you can do the math yourself, but let's say 200 days, 6 months plus a few days, right? If you would have listened to me last fall when we were talking about this, if you would have listened to me, if you would have gone to a Silencer Shop dealer and e-filed, it's the middle of the summer now. You'd have your can and you'd be shooting quietly.
Yeah, but I waited for the Hearing Protection Act to pass.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Remember when I told you people, did I tell people, hey, don't buy a can now, wait until the HPA passes? Did I say that? Pretty sure I didn't say that. I said, get your paperwork in now, because if it does pass, then they'll be automatically approved. And if it doesn't, you'll still have your paperwork in.
I would say, and you'll get your money back.
And you'll get your money back. So this Silencer Shop quiet time segment is actually twofold. So number one, if you get in there and you e-file and get it done, the time is coming down. I mean, 360 days to 200 days is a pretty good drop, right? I'd like to see it should be tomorrow. Like I go in, I do it, and then I come back the next day and get my stuff. Or I got an idea. How about I just go in and give the guy money, the guy who manufactured it, who has an investment, the retailer and the manufacturer. How about I give them my money and I just take the property, which is what it is, home with me, because I'm a citizen, not a slave. I know we've fallen away from that. We don't understand anymore.
That's a revolutionary idea. Quite
I
literally.
know, can you imagine like actually being able to control your own destiny with your own money? What? You can't live without permission from your government? What are you, crazy? The Morning Mindset Kindle version is now available, and it is matched up with the paperback version. And so in addition to talking about cans and shooting quietly and so forth, I'm going to use the quiet time to talk about doing some quiet time, experiencing and enjoying some quiet time with a piece of literature. So if you go to, I actually put the direct link to the Kindle version in the show notes. But right now, and I've been promising, I told you as it was going to happen. Well, it did. It happened. Paperback's available. Kindle version's available. They both are. And the link is right there in the show notes.
What are you going to do if it becomes number one in its category?
That's right. I didn't tell the public audience. Okay, I made a promise during cigar time about a week or two ago, and people were like, "Oh, well, and I was joking about not being Mr. Rogers, and they said you should put on a cardigan sweater, or I said I'm not putting on a cardigan sweater and reading you stories, and they said, "Well, what would you do, or what would it take to get you to do that?" I said, "Okay, I'll play that little game with you." Drive Morning Mindset to the #1 spot in our category, self-help motivational books. And I will put on a cardigan sweater and sneakers, and I will sit in front of the camera and I will read you the book. You want an audio book? You think, Jared, they want an audio book?
You want audiobooks? That's how you get audiobooks.
That's right. That's right. All right. Moving on to the next subject.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a complimentary online training course called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. Get instant access by joining the Student Lounge for free at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of these questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
All right. Thank you, the lovely Miss Alex, for telling everyone what they need to do, what they should do, reminding people what they can do. And we talked a little bit ago. Jared said we got a question from the private Discord channel, and you're like, "How do I get on this private Discord and look behind the scenes?" Well, if you're a grad program member, you can do that. You get all kinds of bonus material. It's not that hard to become a grad program member. Just go to SOTG.com. Follow the instructions. Take advantage of the undergrad program, and you can get all that extra bonus behind the scenes stuff. All right.
And I was super nice. I put some tabs on the screen for you so it's easier to understand what you get with what.
Okay. Well, and Jared even upgraded it recently, so it's more visually pleasing for you.
With 2Ds.
That's right. Upgrade. And it's even mobile friendly, which I thought was excellent of you to do that, Jared. Jared, how is it that you and I mean, we're a small company, right? Would you say we're a relatively small business? How is it that you and I and Zachary are able to have a mobile friendly website? Matter of fact, we have multiple mobile friendly things, and a big company that has dozens and dozens of people working for it can't. Does that ever befuddle you?
A little bit, yeah, because it's so easy now.
It befuddles me. But
like with most systems, it's actually a default setting to be mobile friendly. So,
but you actually have to make a conscious decision to do it, though.
Yeah,
or maybe not. Well, okay. Let us talk about something that people either really want to talk about or don't want to talk about because it's ugly and it makes them feel bad and they don't want to think about it and they want to go watch a football game. Coming Civil War. Everybody's talking about it. The left is talking about it. The left is talking about the coming Civil War. And if you listen to them, if you listen to the Queen Antifas and the BLMs and the all these other leftist socialist agitators, if you listen to them, actually somebody was who was in politics. I believe it was a staff member for a Democrat congressman said that then we needed was it United Nations or foreign intervention, that they hoped that a foreign country would invade the United States to uninstall Donald Trump from the White House. And I guess put in whoever it is that they wanted to be put into the office. And all across the United States of America, we see examples of socialist Democrats, of liberals, progressives, losing their ever-loving minds and attacking people. I just saw another one a couple days ago where an older woman, I think she was in her 60s, was attacked while leading a prayer circle at a pro-America, Make America Great Again rally. And these Antifa bullies came up and attacked her while she was in the middle of prayer. And then, of course, we have the ones in Portland, and we have the ones in Charlottesville, and we have the ones in New York, and wherever. Just keep naming it. And they're all talking about, they're posing for pictures on Instagram and Facebook, and they're going and they're getting guns, they're getting SKSs. Jared, where in the world are all these Antifas getting SKSs? Have you noticed that?
Those darn Russians.
No, like, all right. I was in a gun shop yesterday, and I was in Laramie. I was in the local one here in town a couple of days ago. When is the last time you freaks went into a gun shop and they had an SKS on the rack? And if they did, it was probably one that somebody traded in or whatever. But where are these guys finding these things? I don't know. But they're finding them, and they're posing for pictures. They're putting their little masks over their faces, and they're throwing up gang signs and stuff. And, they're ready. They say they're telling us that they're ready for civil war, and we're going to make this country right again. We're going to get rid of all these fascist Republicans who believe in, well, they believe that the Constitution actually means something and we should follow it. And we just can't have that in America.
Just a reminder that the people who think that the guns are the worst thing ever are supposedly going out to get guns to raise war.
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly.
Well, but see, and what that actually shows is
guns are good if they're for your purpose.
That's right. Guns are always good if they're for me, not for thee. And it's like your benevolent state and federal governments. Every time they pass legislation to restrict the ownership of firearms, they're like, well, that doesn't apply to us. It only applies to you peasants. It's only right. I mean, you can't expect the laws to apply to us because we're above the law. The laws are for peasants. Come on. Well, then on our side, we have quite I would say a number of vocal individuals that are sick to death, fed up to the gills with the bully behavior of the left,
the yellow belly talk,
with the abusive behavior, with the attacking, like I said, 60-year-old women leading a prayer circle at a Make America Great Again rally. So we're gonna attack that person, attacking, breaking people's windows and cars, and so there's a lot of people on our side who are like, you know what, just about done with all your crap, just about done. And you want, okay, all you little freaking man bun wearing, soy fed manginas. All of you gender confused, don't know what bathroom you should use, people. You want a civil war? Because me and my bros here, we're in the Marine Corps, the Army. We've been places and we've done stuff. You've been in your mom's basement blogging about the unfairness of capitalism. And you want to meet me on the street and you want to duke it out. And people on ours like, hey, let's go.
I mentioned it on the grad program, our passingly, but like if you look up videos, pretty much every single time that an adult man gets confronted by an Antifa person, he kicks their butt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, every time that an adult male is accosted, a red-blooded American adult male is accosted by one of these soy-fed manginas in black skinny jeans, they get their butts handed to them. Then they whine and cry and squeal and beg for the police to protect them. The police that they hate. They want the police that they hate to give them cover.
Like that time there was a anti-police, what Blue Lives Don't Matter.
Oh yeah,
they
were going to block the highway
and
because
somebody
they were
ran
protesting
through
the police,
and they were screaming for the police.
Yeah, and they're wondering why the police didn't come and help them.
Oh wait,
yeah,
right.
That's right. Well, the rational, reasonable people on our side are advising caution and restraint. I've seen recently some friends of mine, they're like, we, meaning Make America Great You know, people who believe in and I don't care about I really don't care who's sitting in the White House, because I don't believe that person has the authority to control my day-to-day living. And I shouldn't be looking to the White House or to Congress or DC or whatever to fix my life and make it better, because they can't and they won't. But we've been advised by our reasonable brethren, to restrain ourselves and restrain our comments and not be, cheering for the next civil war, and how we shouldn't wish for it, because if it comes, civil war is never, a winner-loser affair. It's a loser and a larger loser affair. Everyone loses in war. Yada yada, right? It's like everyone, if you fight, everyone in the fight loses. Even the person who supposedly won the fight actually is a loser. No, actually, the person who won the fight is a winner. We won World War II. The United States of America kicked the ever-living crap out of the fascists in Italy and Germany, and we won. We kicked the ever-living crap out of the imperialist Japanese, who started a war with us, and we won. Did Americans die? Yes, we still won the war. Would you guys like it to have been the opposite? Should we have said to Japan after Pearl Harbor, that was wrong of you to do that. We don't believe in war, because everyone who participates in a war will lose eventually. So, but we're saying, hey, knock it off. In Germany, like, it's over there in Europe and they're having their thing. So we don't think they should be doing that, and they should stop. Just, you guys over there, seriously, I'm super serial. You should stop. If we would not have been, I'm sorry, England, I'm sorry, Canada, I'm sorry, France, but if the United States would not have intervened in Europe in World War II, there would have been a remaining Fortress Europa. That was the Fortress Europe. That's what Hitler was doing. England did not have the ability to invade. England and Canada did not have the ability to invade and take back the continent of Europe. There was French resistance and Danish resistance and, Norwegian resistance, but they did not have the ability to expel the National Socialist German Workers' Party from the continent of Europe. You say, what about Russia? Russia could have done it. Russia could have done it. Russia was pretty happy. If Hitler would have just left Russia alone, they were pretty happy to stay on their side of the wall, on their side of the border. Yeah, but in all of that, whether you're on, the left progressive side, we're going to fix America and get rid of Trump and all these fascists, because anyone who doesn't agree with me is a fascist. And I have no idea what the hell a fascist is, but I'm going to say that. So you got that side. Then you have our side. They're like, hey, mofo, let's do it. Let's do it. You want to do it? Where are we going to meet? Where are we going to meet? Tell me the date and time. I'll be there. Let's square this crap out. And we're like, what? And then our side, the reasonable people are like, hey, you don't understand. We don't want that. Both sides really, if you look at the totality of the situation. Thank you for cutting me some slack. If you look at the totality of the situation and how we got to this position where we're even talking about it, where the words are even being used, would we have used those words in the 1980s or even the 90s? Would we have used those words? Some people did, but the vast majority, the Communist News Network and Fox and all these, they're doing all these man on the street interviews, and they're coming back and they're like, 2/3 of the people we interviewed think that it's going to happen. If you went back to 1960 or 70 or even 80 and said, what do you think the chances? I really have a hard time believing that you'd even get 1/3. There's always been a small vocal, majority or a vocal minority who thought it was going to happen. Now we have one side that is actively instigating for conflict. It's obvious. I mean, we see it. We report on it every day. We have one side of the equation, the socialist side, that is actively instigating. And and the leaders of that faction are telling their people on TV, in public, on the internet, to go out and harass people who you disagree with politically. Harass them, make them feel uncomfortable, boycott them, tell them they're not welcome here. They've done everything but advocate actual violence because they're smart enough to know if they say that, then they could get in trouble with the law. So it's as if they're in the mafia-esque, in all the mafia movies you've ever seen. Does the mafia boss ever say, "Hey, you two, go find Jimmy the Nose and kill him"? Does he ever say that? No, because he has culpable liability. He wants culpable liability.
That's where all the slang terms came from.
If he were to encounter some type of a tragedy or an accident, I don't believe I would weep. I think it would be good if he were to go away. Yeah. I'm not saying, God forbid, anything bad should happen to him. But if it did, I wouldn't be angry about it. That's exactly what we're getting from the Maxine Waters and all of the other race pimps and the ruling class Democrat elites. I'm not saying go out and stab, Trump supporters. I'm not saying go out and attack Trump supporters. But you need to, if you see them, you need to gather your friends together and make them know that they're not welcome. Well, Maxine, how do you want me to do that? Just, you need to let them know they're not welcome here.
You got a rude awakening coming.
Yeah, it's open to interpretation. So if we throw a brick through their window, does that help? Does that show them that they're not welcome? If we punch them in a bakery or a restaurant, does that tell them? And on our side, so we know that we have one side that's actively instigating for violence. And then on our side, we have people that are like, well, hang on now. Let's not be too quick to jump into this Civil War thing because everyone who participates is a loser.
You know who's a loser?
What?
Your children and grandchildren.
Yes.
If the socialists prevail, that is who is going to lose.
You and I, the people who actually believe in the founding, who believe that we don't want the United States of America to devolve into this England, France-like form of socialism. Do you want to be Germany? Do you want to be socialist Germany? Do you want to be socialist France, socialist England? Do you want your daughters to be raped by roving gangs of 7th century death cult missionaries? Oh, you want to have to apologize to thugs when they break into your home and attack you? You want to have to, be sure that you don't say anything mean to the home invaders. Is that the future you're looking for? You want 60 to 70% of your paycheck to go directly into the pocket of your government while you beg to be allowed to take a shower, California? While you beg for food? You're killing each other for groceries, Venezuela? Civil war will be bloody. It will be horrible. It will be ugly. But what is the other option? Surrender to the slavery of socialist servitude? A slow and agonizing, cancerous death of the representative republic of the United States of America? For our side to say, hey, let's tone down the Civil War rhetoric. Let's not be talking about it. Let's not wish for it. That's like there's a hurricane off of the coast of Florida. And the hurricane's there. It's real. It actually exists. And it's coming towards land. You're not sure if, you're not sure if it's going to hit where you are and when it's going to hit where you are, but it's there. And you say to your friends and neighbors, you're like, hang on, hang on, hang on. We need to calm down about all this hurricane nonsense. And we need to stop talking about it, because when a hurricane hits, no one benefits. Okay. Everyone is a loser. Everyone's going to lose if we get hit by a hurricane. You say, Paul, that's retarded. We would obviously never say that. Now, when there's a hurricane brewing out in the Gulf of Mexico or in the Atlantic, and all the the people, the experts, they pontificate about where it may go, and people know that it may hit where they are, but it might not. It may hit tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday. It may hit earlier than we thought. It may hit later than we thought. The strength may be greater than we anticipated. It may be way less than we anticipated. But regardless of whether or not it's going to hit on my doorstep 50 miles away, 100 miles away, whether it's going to come ashore as a Cat 1 and they thought it was going to be a 3, or it comes ashore as a 4 and they thought it was going to be a 2. Regardless of all of that, the reality that we have to deal with is there's a hurricane. And our pretending that hurricanes don't exist, or our discussion about hurricanes hurt people's feelings, so we're not going to talk about it. Whether or not there's a civil war next week, next month, next year, in 4 years, whether or not it comes, it's a reality. There is a threat. There have been times when a hurricane is out there and it's brewing and it's churning up, and we're getting news. It went from a tropical storm to a class 1. Now it's a class 2. Now it's a class 3. And the winds changed. The Gulf winds, God says, nah, not today. And he sends some wind out from Canada. And it pushes it, and it does a big loop, and it goes back out into the ocean. And it peers out, and it breaks up, and people go, whew. That may be the Civil War in America. It may gin up, gin up, gin up, gin up, and then, God says not today, and it sends a great big wind from Canada. I'm teasing, but Canada, and it peters out. But just because it may not hit, and it may, it does that mean we don't prepare for it? No. Rather than us spending time saying, well, let's not talk about it, or it's ugly, or it's bloody, or it doesn't matter. It makes no difference what your personal feelings about a civil war are. Your personal feelings, all of the discussions you have on Facebook are completely and totally immaterial. What is important is that you be physically and mentally prepared for the eventuality. No one ever had a hurricane come threaten the coast of Florida. Then the wind comes, changes its course. It goes back out in the Atlantic. It gets pushed out into the Atlantic, and it goes away. And people say, damn, I wish I wouldn't have, we bought a generator and food and water and a chainsaw. We got all this stuff. That was stupid. I wish we wouldn't have done that. I wish we wouldn't have prepared for that. Does anyone ever say that? No one ever says, damn it, why did we prepare for that hurricane? What a waste of time and effort that was. I don't think people say that. Do people say that, Jared? Maybe Antifa says that.
Right.
But our folks would never, you would never say, damn it, I wish I wouldn't have prepared this year for the hurricanes, because we didn't have one. So that was stupid of me to prepare. No. I don't know what's going to happen with the Civil War in the United States. It may be a hurricane that blows back out into the ocean, or it may come ashore as a class 4, or it may be a class 4 and then it ends up a class 1. I don't know. But us having these detailed, supposedly philosophical conversations about whether or not it's going to be good or bad or ugly or bloody is completely and totally immaterial. It's a storm. And the storm does not care about your personal feelings. So prepare.
We're going long here, which is fine.
I'm done.
But I have a question that kind of pertains to this. If we can't, not we as in Student of the Gun or the listeners here, but humans, if we can't decide to prepare and train when things are going well, what makes us think that that people are going to prepare and train when things are not going well, versus them just sticking their head in the sand and acting like nothing is happening?
No, it's not hard to gauge people's reactions and behavior in crisis. And we have tens of thousands of books and records of how people behaved during various crises, whether they were hurricanes or riots or wars or what have you. Some will rise to the occasion, some will default, some will come apart completely. Others will just try and seek shelter and ride it out. That's what happened in the American Civil War. I'm sorry, the American Revolutionary War, which was the British Civil War, whatever. But it's like, are you going to wait to load your magazines? Like when the zombies are kicking down the front door, is that when you're going to load your mags?
Right. And
there are riots. I'm going to go to a class today.
Yeah. Well, good luck finding an instructor. But we have younger kids watching us. We have teenagers. We have new listeners. And so what he was talking about, the American Revolutionary War, you hear the term 3%er. Where does that come from? And this is for the people that are new to listening to this kind of stuff, or the younger kids that might not know. And that's because 3% of the population, supposedly, were the only ones that actively participated in the American Revolutionary War. So now you see the groups here in the United States that call themselves 3%ers, and that's kind of a very, very short and lean history behind that term.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. I'm done. Ponder upon that, if you will. We will be back on Wednesday. Florida carjacking stopped by CCW. Are we going to have a Go Team moment? Maybe. Find out on Wednesday. Until then, remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.
All right. Are you guys there? They both left me, so I guess I'm going to stop the broadcast.